Hello and welcome to the John Ark Show. Today's episode is called Peak Lying. Before we begin, I want to encourage you to subscribe to our channel for free. You can also like, comment, and follow us. We're going to have a lot of great celebrity interviews coming up, so make sure to click on the notification bell so you can be notified every time we upload a new episode. Now, let's get started. I think it's very safe to say that we've now reached peak lying. What is that? Peak lying is a state where almost every commercial, financial, technical, and social interaction involves some level of lying, fraud, or deception. Do you think that's an exaggeration? Then ask yourself the following questions. Have you ever dealt with a car salesman that you felt you could trust? Have you ever gone to the grocery store and seen one price on the shelf and then another price being rung up at the cash register? Have you ever purchased any shoes or clothing and thought they would last at least a reasonable length of time, like a year or two, only to find out that they start falling apart within months of you purchasing them? Well, believe it or not, these are attempts to deceive, shortchange, and defraud you in a very deliberate way. Have you purchased a bag of chips lately and opened the bag only to see that it's 75% air and only 25% of the bag contains chips? That's peak deception. Have you ever noticed that if you spend the same amount of money for gas at two different gas stations, and then you get in the car and you check your gas gauge, invariably you'll see two different amounts of gas being shown on the gauge. That's because they've tampered with the pump at one of the gas stations, and they're not really giving you all the gas that you paid for. Have you applied for a mortgage and been given one set of numbers weeks before the closing, and then you receive the actual numbers at the closing table and you notice that they're significantly different, and it's always more, it's never less, never less. 9 times out of 10, that's because they've manipulated the numbers to add more fees or costs to their benefit, and then they reveal those numbers to you by ambushing you at the closing table, hoping that you just won't walk away. By the way, if you threaten to walk away, watch how quickly the company can produce a new set of documents with accurate numbers for the closing. It's amazing how quickly they'll generate those numbers. When was the last time you heard any politician speaking that you thought was even remotely telling the truth? What percentage of the time do you think they tell the truth? Have you ever gone to an auto mechanic and gotten that feeling that you were being ripped off? What percentage of the population that has a college degree do you think feels those degrees ended up having any value at all in the marketplace? How often when you go to a doctor do they actually help you get better or cure your health problem? And how often does it feel like they're simply selling you more drugs to help you with symptoms but not really cure anything? How often do they recommend a huge battery of tests only to determine after a month or two of testing that they still don't know what the problem is? But guess what? They've made a fortune on those tests. Have you gone to a funeral parlor lately to make arrangements for the passing of a loved one and been shocked by the price quotes? Arranging a funeral for a loved one now can be as expensive as purchasing a car. Why is it that expensive to bury a wooden box containing a human being? Why is it so expensive? Do you go to church regularly? Have you noticed how many churches are now behaving like sales organizations, trying to sell you all sorts of trips and classes and lessons and memberships? Anything and everything, they try and sell it. Have you gone on a date lately? Did it feel like a genuine date where two souls are trying to get to know each other? Or did it feel like your date was angling for free drinks or meals or something else even creepier? What percentage of the time when you interact with other people or companies lately have you felt that they were being completely honest and trustworthy? My point in all of this is that most episodes of daily interactions now involve some level of deception or fraud or manipulative opportunism, and this seems to be reaching an all-time high. We call this peak lie. You've heard of peak oil? When the prices of oil reach their maximum? Well, we've now entered peak lie. Because the level of deception out there is now so pervasive and common that it's getting more problematic than ever before. The next time you watch the news, any news story, ask yourself some simple questions. Why are they really telling you this news story? And who really benefits from it being told to you? Who really profits? You may suddenly see the news in an entirely different way. Do the same thing with the people you interact with. Ask yourself why they're really doing what they're doing and who benefits from their actions most. You may think this sounds a bit paranoid, but we're now living in a time where only the paranoid will survive or prosper. Thank you for watching. I want to encourage you to subscribe to our channel for free. You can also like, comment, and follow us. We're going to have a lot of great celebrity interviews coming up, so make sure to click on that notification bell so you can be notified every time we post a new episode. We'll see you soon. Bye-bye.